What's going on, kings and queens? Welcome back to another Market Open Live. It is Friday the 19th. If you're watching the replay, thank you for joining us. The market opens in just over a minute. So we're gonna open up the accounts, see what things look like, where our amounts are, and then we'll go from there. So currently we got 48 seconds till the market opens. Currently we're sitting at $179.31 in this account. So we have lost $5, $6-ish in the last week or so. Oh, and the buying power is $94.96. So that $6 difference is right now in an order, I believe. Let me see if that order is still open, actually. Okay, the order has closed, so that $6 loss is more than likely could be trading fees along with the drop that we have in Verizon. And this isn't pulling up as high as we thought it would. So I sold it at about $3.74, bought back in 5 shares at, and there's the bell. All right, let's back out. Actually, let's get on the 1 minute here first. All right, so that dipped right down to 353 real quick. Let's put a quick order in here. We're gonna do a small one. This one's just gonna be kind of more for kicks than anything else. I would doubt that this would close, but we're gonna put it in for what we had our average as before, which is about 322. All right, so lower than it is now. Let's go back to our grid that we usually look at and see how everything else is doing before we get into too deep or get into the weeds on any one thing. All right, Starbucks is back at the $87 range. So as I mentioned before, if this does hit that 87.10 like we were at before, I will buy it again. I kind of want to put an order in, but not just yet, especially not on a Friday. Friday is usually sell day. Let me rephrase that. Not at the open on a Friday. I'll watch it a little bit more before I put any orders in because it could plummet since Friday is oftentimes a good sell day. Which is why I was fine with putting that one at 30 cents. I'm more familiar with UEC. All right, Verizon, let's look at that real quick. By the way, it's kind of thunderstorming on and off here, so today's going to be a little bit quicker than usual. Just a heads up. So we're a little bit down on Verizon right now, but I don't think it's anything too big to be worried about. Yep, we hit a new cross overnight, so hopefully we'll be coming back up from that. But you'll see, I don't have much news to go over today. I'll be real brief with it once I get there. And most of it is really just about how things are kind of still wish-washy. Like certain things are doing okay, certain things are turning down because the news is coming out. Okay, so SDIG is at 206. I do want to look a little closer at that in this account. Not that I want to use all of the cash that I have in any of my accounts, but would be curious to pick this up since it did just... Yeah, you know what? Let me put an order in for just 2 shares because that's all I can really get. We'll do it at... Let's zoom out. Where are my days? Where's my day, minute, hours thing? Huh. Oh, I know. There we go. Okay. So we're basically at a low right now, it looks like. Yeah, we're pretty much at a low. So, and the volume on here isn't too crazy. All right, that's 305 is where it looks like it did hit. Let's go to the 1 minute. All right, that cross is still turned down. Can I go a little closer? No, not quite. Okay. Yeah, we're still dropping a bit. It's got some room to drop. You know what? I'm gonna throw in one at $2 and we'll say 2 cents. Maybe? Let's see. ATR's turning up, leveling out a bit. RSI looks like it could be turning back around. This cross right here isn't happening, at least not just yet. The volume's not really high on this, so that's why this would be a harder one to do. So I'm gonna do it at 204, or you know what, 205. We're at a low. Why not? Who's gonna complain about 2 pennies for real? We'll see if it gets bought out or bought up. If that executes, then, you know, maybe we got in low. Maybe this is, you know, something like space where I'm going to be holding on to it for a while because of that. Do I want to move it up? Because again, what's a penny at this point? Yeah, let's move it so we can capture it real quick. We'll go 206. That should buy it up. We're at 205 right now. 208. Yeah, it's kind of bouncing around. We'll just keep an eye on this for a quick second. Let's see. Oh, there's the zoom. Okay, cool. Now I can get in a little closer, see what's going on. That's so much better. Oh my goodness, thank you. Okay, by the way, this is Weeble. I have a link down in the description if you do want to use Weeble. I do like it a good bit. Okay, things are starting to turn back up a touch. Let's see where the stick goes. Okay. Let's move it to 207. I wouldn't even worry if I did buy it into 215s or anything like that. 210s, mostly because this is at such a low. It's going to fill that whole gap more than likely. Yeah, it's starting to go a little higher. We'll go 209. We'll just buy those up real quick, see if it executes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's okay. There we go. Okay, order executed, probably about 209, maybe 208. Yeah, so my average price was 208. Now, that was a very, I don't want to say risky, but spontaneous or whatever you want to call it, impulsive buy, because I could have waited, could study the chart a little bit more, but right now I'm seeing that we're at basically a bottom, and we're talking 2 shares with $2 and change. I'm not going to cry about this. So this is more of a just, I saw an opportunity, I'm going to take it with the $4 that's in this account. We'll see how it goes. This account is kind of at a standstill right now because I haven't been making anything really from space. So, oh, I just realized I have not minimized my face. So that whole time you have been looking at my face and not the screens that I'm looking at. So there you go. There's a chart that I was just looking at. That's the gap that I was talking about that I just was worried about filling. We'll go over to TD real quick just so you can see what's going on over there since I did mention that. You got Starbucks close to $8.70 or $87, Verizon at 44. Show you the account since I didn't get to show you those because, you know, I wasn't highlighted. I do have those orders in UEC. Go over that real quick just since, again, I hate that I do that sometimes. Oh well. We're getting better. We're getting there. Okay. Let's look at some crypto stuff real quick. You know, we'll start with that. So, Bitcoin did tank a little bit. Let's see where it's at right now. We're at 20. I shouldn't say tank. It dropped. It dropped a bit. We're at $21,539. So the Bitcoin rainbow chart, which has been pretty accurate so far, is saying that's basically on a fire sale. So if there's any time that you're looking to DCA, right now is probably a good time to do so. Makes me wish I had some more, I guess, crypto or cash or whatever on hand in those accounts. I don't, but I'm fine with that. We got Ethereum at 1,700, still going down just a little bit. And this is why, it's like, look at this. Most of it's red now. So this is what I mean when I say that there's not much I'm going to go over in the news. It's pretty much as everyone screaming doom and gloom again. And I'm not going to waste y'all's time with that. So the couple that I do look at, let's see. I mean, VeChain is super low right now. 2.6 cents. Uniswap back down to $7. Chainlink down to $7. That's a good buy. In my opinion, none of this is financial advice, by the way. FTT, I know some people are interested in that. It's down 27. Litecoin back at 55. That was just up at 60 or so. I use that just because it has cheap fees to transfer. That's pretty much the only reason I use it. Polkadot back under the $8 range. XRP is still holding over Cardano, but look at these market caps. Like, even by market cap, XRP has lost $2 billion in market cap as compared to the last time we looked at it, and Cardano has lost almost $2.5 billion in market cap since the last time we lost it. So what is that? We are $100 billion less in the overall market cap from where we were when we last checked in on Wednesday. So, you know, take that for what you might think it means. ENS, I do actually have my own. It's, what is it? themichaelbird.eth, I think. So that's pretty interesting seeing that that's the most traded right now. Let's see what that's at. It's number 122. We're at $12.77. I remember when this went up to a lot, or more at least. It was at like the $30 range, I think, or even like $100. Yeah, it got up to the $27 range ish. They did a nice airdrop and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I got one of mine. Let's see, is this going to show us an indicator? Nope, it's not going to show us an indicator. But from the all-time high 9 months ago. Okay. I thought it did go over 25. So yeah, 9 months ago was all-time high at $83.40. All-time low was 2 months ago at $7.45. And we're at 277 right now. So market cap is 328 million. Circulating supply 25 million. Total supply 100 million, and max supply 100 million. So that's always good to see when you do see that there is a max and a total supply. It's not just infinite. Fully diluted value right now is $1.2 billion. All right. So, and I was going to try and explain that, but here we go. So fully diluted value is the current price times the max supply. That's what fully diluted value means. So there are a lot of things that you can use for indicators when it comes to crypto. Those are just a couple. As I do these lives and I don't have a lot of news, we'll kind of go into those things together because I'm relearning them myself. Let's go over to here again. We got Uni. It's the most widely held token still. And what is that? I forget what the ST stands for again. It's like something token ETH. Staked. Lido staked ETH. You know what? Let's look at that real quick because I don't know too much about that either. So Lido staked ETH. See what you got going on. You're at 1,652. So that looks like it might be tracking ETH as much as possible. Yeah, it's kind of tracking ETH within like $50, $100 right now. I'll keep that on my radar. We'll look into that because I do see it pop up a lot. Okay, so transaction charts. So far this month, looks like we had a little bit of a spike the other day. Pretty low yesterday. It's kind of all over the place. Transfer account. So around when the CPI came out, there was a lot of transfers, which is probably people taking money out of their wallet and putting it onto exchanges, and then you can see a lot of transfer amount the day after, which is probably from people making their money when everything went up with the CPI. That would be my guess. I could be completely wrong on that too, but right now just trying to kind of browsing the information, seeing what's going on. Okay, so we see that the top three or the top two tokens are still stable coins, USDC and USDT. I believe there was another stable coin that was up in the top like 5 before. It looks like it dropped, so that could mean that people are starting to do a little bit more buying, but we still do have the top two being USDC, USDT, which means people have a lot of cash on hand right now. Again, to me that kind of indicates that people are waiting to buy. SHIB is still a highly bought one, not surprised, or highly held, I should say, because this is total holdings. And I think this is updated like every 24 hours or something. Okay, so not going to go into these too deeply, but just because we do have a couple of shares, or a share of this, I figured I'd bring it up real quick. Verizon stock downgraded to underperform amid T-Mobile competition. So T-Mobile's been getting a lot of good news. Verizon hasn't been doing a lot as far as stocks are concerned. They had a couple of issues as far as business goes and their numbers. So they're basically just saying that it's not looking good for Verizon in the cellular space, especially with their competitors. But at the same time, I don't think that's too much to be concerned about when it comes to holding Verizon right now. It's still one of the most highly rated dividend stocks, and it still has plenty of room to grow. We're right now in the price range of when COVID first hit and everything like tanked. That's where Verizon stock is priced right now, basically. I was just going to really headline surf with you guys on this. There's not too much to be talking about when it comes to crypto. I mean, I guess you could say that there's plenty, but effectively, Of course, yeah, the market is still sliding. There's still correlation with Bitcoin. Yes, I know we're seeing a little bit of a reversal in the rally from when the CPI readings came. Like this to me, yeah, there are job cuts everywhere. There's a lot of replication of what I'm seeing in the crypto market as opposed to the stock market or the general market when it comes to news. And then there's a lot of overlap too. So it seems like both markets have basically the same opinion right now as a whole, which is there's still a lot of people getting cut back, still a lot of uncertainty, still a lot of, I mean, even in a lot of cases where crypto is still a lot of lawsuits and stuff that have to be fought and figured out and everything. So this is what we just bought. It's at 222. Is it really? All right. It's at 205 on here. It's saying it's at 222 on Yahoo. Let's update that maybe. Yeah, okay, yeah. Just because it wasn't updated. But I wanted to just look at this a little bit real quick. We'll get into this a little bit later, but this is what we did just buy 2 shares of at $2.05. Before we get into that, let's look back at the charts. That's what I want to do. Alright, so UEC 355. So it is coming up a little bit. Verizon, I mean, that's still about what it was at when it's opened. Starbucks, a little bit weaker. We're at $87.75. Looks like another cross to the downward might be happening soon. How much do I have in buying power right now? 82.06 because of what I just put in for with UEC. I'll keep an eye out for this throughout the day. We'll see if maybe I'll cancel that order with UEC and buy in Starbucks a little bit lower than I had it before. We did see it go down to the 70s, mid 70s a few weeks ago, so it wouldn't really be surprising to be honest. Alright, let's go back over here. So, wanted to go over this, or wanted to look at this real quick, basically just kind of look up some words. I'm refreshing my jargon and verbiage as I go through all of this stuff. This, like I said, these lives are my accountability partner. Hopefully you guys will get something from it. But first we're going to look at this is what a general overview would be when you go to look at any stock, pretty much on any platform that you use. They'll have the previous close, opens, highs, lows, 52-week ranges, your earnings per share, things like that. So we're just going to look at Stronghold real quick, see what it says to us, and look at a few definitions along the way also. So we'll just look at year to date, see where they came from. So they're coming from about the $12 range. Their high was about with everybody else's high in the crypto market around October, November at 27. So we're in way low from what they were at their high. They've been cruising around the $2 range pretty much since everything really crashed. It's been around $2. Did hit the $1 range around June. Picked back up from there. I forget what happened in June, but I know that I think it was one of the CPI meetings. Okay, so previous close, which was yesterday's $2.22. The open today was $2.45, and then we did see it tank. Market cap 41 million, which means it's a pretty small market cap, especially for being on the stock exchange. So this I would definitely group in as like a penny stock, so super risky. Nothing on the channel is financial advice before, or anyway, I think I mentioned that before. Earnings per share, so how much are they making in comparison to, you know what, let me just look at the definition. I don't want to word it wrong. So, earnings per share is a company's net profit divided by the number of common shares it has outstanding. It indicates how much money a company makes for each share of its stock and is widely used as a metric for estimating corporate value. So it's how much money a company makes for each share that is out there. There you go. I want to make sure I didn't word that wrong, but that's from Investopedia, so you see where I'm getting it from. So people use this a lot because especially when you see this get to a neutral and even a positive number, that's really good because it means they're earning a lot. They're earning more money than what they're... Let me look at the definition again, make sure I'm wording this properly. How much money a company makes, so more money for each share of the stock, of its stock. So they're making money off of their stocks, or compared to their stocks, as opposed to losing money. It would be a very quick, crude way to explain that. And when I say that, I mean it's not really accurate, but we're going to go with that for now. The earnings date, August 6th, so we're just past that. So that's always a very rocky time to be trading. Wonder when that was. Let's see. So, yeah, I know that bad news came out. We went over it the other day. They basically sold or returned a bunch of their rigs that they had on loan to make up for a bunch of their debt. They just recouped basically 55% of their debt that they were holding, so that they can have a little bit more, not even running costs, just a little bit more breathing room, and debt to earnings ratio. Let's see what else we have here. Average volume, 3 million. So again, very low volume, not something that's very highly traded. The current volume is 305. 52-week range. There we go. Okay, so within the last year, it has gone from, or all the way down to $104 or $1.46, and it peaked at $35.79. So as we know, crypto, everything that has ran has been in the most, or at its highest within the last 52 weeks so far. So that's not surprising to see. The days range so far, $2.04, $2.12. Let's see, anything else that's really popping out? This meter is showing that it's overvalued, but I don't know how much I can judge off of that because of it being blocked out. But so far, what this is telling me is that they are a very, very cheap company. Does that mean they're a good company or a good buy? Not necessarily. Like I said, they did just return a bunch of their rigs, but they are portraying that this is a good thing, and it doesn't mean they're necessarily going out of business. It basically just means that they're trying to make sure that their finances are back, or that their finances stay in order or get back in order. So there's a little bit of a dive into Stronghold Digital Mining. Let's see. We'll just go jump at the charts real quick, see what's going on. All right, so we are still dropping. It did hit that cross. It looks like it's kind of determining if it wants to hold that cross, though. It looks like. Oh. There we go. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, UEC 353, so still weakening. We're still showing weakness. Now here, QQQ, they're at 324 right now, and as I said, a lot of people use this as an indicator to track. I think it's the S&P 500 if I'm not mistaken. And we can see that it's already lost a couple dollars through the day. That cross is pretty strong on the minute chart. Let's see it on the 4 hour, the 1 hour. Finger, or got a little wrist happy there going, Anyway, you know what I mean. That sounded dirty, but you know what I mean. All right, so the cross did happen in the after hours, it looks like, where it's turned back down. Let's keep zooming out, see when we see this stop. It looks like the cross just hit on the day chart. So this, let's see, okay, still up, an upward trend on the week chart, but not many people really trade off of the week chart. On the day, though, the day chart is where I start when it comes to swing trading. I'll graph or draw my lines off of the week chart, but I'll start my actual judgment calls, I guess you could say. Hey Kuma, do you mind? I'm kind of live right now. Thanks, buddy. So he's gonna go right back at it. Watch. There you go. So he's trying to fluff a bed that can't be fluffed. His blanket is in a little ball. Anyway, we're at 324 right now. So we'll keep an eye on that, especially in the beginning of next week. Workhorse has broken down to 351. I might buy back into that sometime next week. We'll see. Or maybe I'll buy back into it today. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy some Stronghold on this account here. Probably not, because it's such a weak-looking company right now. But that's okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we got? Let me ask you this real quick. What is your strategy when it comes to investing right now? Are you looking more long-term, short-term? Do you, even maybe more specific, do you buy into strength? Do you sell weakness? Do you look to short? Let me know what you're doing out there with your trading. You can kind of see what I'm doing as things go. But that's pretty much what I got for today. This is where the Q&A would start, or I guess the chat with me would start. And then, talking some other stuff and options. But check out the videos that are popping up right now. I have other videos on my channels, especially definitions. I'll leave a card up here for that. If this video at all was helpful for you, just let people know that I go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 Central Standard Time. And I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend, Kings and Queens.